Welcome to another episode of Crime Pays Your Botany Doesn't. Today I was coming to you from beautiful Cape Girardeau, Missouri, home of the infamous I Got My Salad Tossed in Cape Girardeau t-shirt. Comes in a variety of colors, neon yellow, neon green, neon pink, etc. Also got a black shirt for the winter season, V-neck, crew neck, turtleneck, etc. All that aside, I'm here today to talk about the Mississippi River fluvial system. Mississippi River is actually 80 million years old, 70 to 80 million years old, meaning it was around back when the dinosaurs were still alive before they got taken out by that comet that struck the Yucatan Peninsula. All that aside, if you notice behind me, the river's flowing. That's what that bridge is for, etc. Today at Cape Girardeau, the river flows east. It takes a bend and flows east, like kind of like east-southeast. But back in the day, sometime in the distant past, the river flowed west out of here, and you can see it when you look at a topographic map of the region. All right, there's a lot of relief. It looks like someone carved out the channel. You can see the old riverbed. There's a mesa just south of me, and you can see that on the look like Google terrain map, etc. All that aside, I mention this because that bend in the river, since the river used to flow there, deposited a lot of sand. It was like a deltaic system. It deposited a lot of sand, river transported sand, that today creates some of the sand prairies that we're about to go check out, all right? Now, if you're ever in Cape Girardeau, go check out this Crisp Museum too. I hear it's really good. And if you're on the drive down here, the cops do get a little hot and horny. I've already been stopped twice. They were fine enough, but you know, they said to run my name, make sure I wasn't up to no good. I get it, whatever. Worst thing you can do, you talk to cops, get nervous. Don't be stupid, all right? Even if you're doing something wrong. Anyway, we're gonna go check it out, see what plants are growing here. Beautiful to be here on such an ancient and lovely river. Here we go. Oh, it's a hot day in Missouri, but it's not a hot day by Texas standards. It was fucking lawn, man. Isn't it sad? It's tragic. You just need a little bit of lawn. You could reduce it by half, plant a bunch of native plants. You got Eupatorium over here. You got Cephalanthus, aka the button bush, coffee family Rubiaceae, Cephalanthus occidentalis. A lot of nice stuff. But look at that beautiful river, okay? 70 to 80 million years old. I had no idea it was that big back when I was riding freight trains across it, 15, 20 years ago. Pretty wild to think, all right? Wonderful. It's been here a long time, all right? It's carved out the geology of this region. So much so that it deposited sand probably 10 to 50,000 years ago that is now in a place that's above river level today, okay? Very interesting stuff. You always got to wonder how the landscapes that you're currently looking at plants on or dicking around on, doing whatever, how they formed. It's a nice bridge to it. It's not so bad. I've seen worse. Oh, I said, wow. So here we are in a Crisp Museum. They got a wonderful display here. This whole corner is geology. Look at it. Geologic timeline of southeast Missouri. Oh, God. Don't threaten me with a good time. Oh, my God. They got nautiloids? Oh, no, that's from Texas. Never mind. Where the local stuff? They got, they got brachiopods. They got trilobites. This seems like it might be local. I hope so. Anyway. Bunch of good stuff, but this is where stuff gets interesting. You talk about the New Madrid Fault, okay? New Madrid Fault, all right, an ancient fault, all right? Also, the cause of the largest recorded earthquake in United States history was a magnitude 8.0. Look, they got an informational kiosk, all this good stuff, but you really got to look at the maps to figure out what went down here. And you can see, let's see, where the hell we at? I don't know where the shit this is. Oh yeah, you can see. I think this is facing north. This is the channel that the river once took. You can't really see it too well on this map, but I mean, this is the river flowed here a long time ago. So the geology is fluvial, all right? Just like alluvial is, deposits washing out of mountains. You get alluvial fans in the deserts and stuff. Fluvial is, the fluvial system has been dictating the regional geology here for the past 70 million years. But I gotta say, I didn't know that the Atlantic Ocean first started to form in the Triassic. That's new to me, man. That's pretty, I thought it was only 80 million years old. But remember, there's Welwitschia fossils in Brazil, and the only place it occurs today is in Namibia. Oh, Jesus, look at that. You got an extinct gymnosperm. It could be a lycophyte. Could be a lycophyte with that scale trunk. Pennsylvanian period, so that's Carboniferous. Yeah, that's probably a lycophyte. Look at that stuff. Crinoids and all local fossils. I love little museums like this. This is pretty well kept too. This is fancy, and they got a really clean bathroom, I'll tell you that. You can go marinate in there for 30 minutes. Another crinoid. What were those things like? I forget if they got taken out in the Permian or the KT boundary. Oh, beautiful, beautiful ammonite. There, look at that. Look at how rotund it is. The finest of grooves. And they got some of those Mason Creek fossils too. I think that's from Mason Creek. Those nodules only occur there, as far as I know. They got a nice little diorama about Mississippian cultures. I didn't get a chance to go to Cahokia Mountains, unfortunately. I'd really love to. See, they got the mannequins in there and stuff. You got reeds composing a roof. This is a nice museum. Anytime I go to museums, this is all I check out. The geology stuff, the natural history stuff, the indigenous stuff, then I scram. Maybe some other stuff. I really don't find any interest in any other stuff, though. You know, like the settler stuff. I don't care about that stuff. Okay, that's pretty nuts. They got an 800-year-old pipe. That's pretty impressive. Can't think about the hands that touch this stuff. There were complex cultures here in this river valley, and in Ohio too, back in the day, you know? Probably more complex than there are now. No offense to anybody in Ohio. Okay, this is a fascinating exhibit. I highly suggest you come here to the Crisp Museum. It's Southeast Missouri University, all right? But I'm about to get kicked out. I'm being kind of loud. I got the dogs in here. They were nice enough to let me in there with that. I don't want to blow up the spot too much. I'm going to get out of here before I make the joint too hot. We're going to go check out some plants. Here we go. Oh, that's nice. Look at the cows just hanging out at the tree line over there. So this is what most of the region looks like today. It was sand prairies and woodland, and then you had the Mississippian people living here till about, I don't know, 1300 AD, when their civilization collapsed for whatever reason, or they just broke up and disbanded and turned into nomadically roaming tribal groups. Either way, most of what you're looking at is soy and corn. So corn for ethanol and soybean to feed cattle. But this little sand prairie just south of here is a little crumb of habitat. Why is it there? Why did it not get turned into agriculture? Maybe because it's sand? I don't know. I'm kind of confused on that, because in most of these prairie settings throughout the Midwest, everything got destroyed and they turned it into agriculture for the death cult, you know, for like a tumor-like growth on the planet that consumes everything and leaves nothing else for any other living element of the biosphere. Anyway, let's keep moving on and see what we got going on down here. You know, that's a whole lot of corn. Oh, God, I could smell Jack's mouth from up here. That's a whole lot of corn. A lot of corn. More corn than anybody could ever eat. It's because it all goes to biofuels and cattle. How about that? Oh, this is cool. Okay, so notice how you got these hills right here, and the hills go the whole length of the road. And then over on this side, it's flattened, it's leveled out, there's no hills, whatever. This is all originally carved by the Mississippi River, God knows how long ago. This is an old channel, even though we're a few miles inland from it. This is all floodplain. This was old riverbed. If you look at I'll put a terrain map up on the screen so you can see what I'm talking about. You can see how it's been scoured out. God, I've probably been called into the cops like 9 times in the last 15 miles. The people who do not look, they have not looked friendly. Some old lady just drove by who looked like she had that like pouting, I just ate a turd face. And then I waved to her and she still didn't smile. Anyway, look at this. Sometimes in these old margins of farmland, you can find, it's one of the few vestigial spots. It's one of like the hideaway spots, the refugial spots where you could still find vestiges of the native flora. But I don't see any right here. Just see this invasive saponaria. Oh, well, you never know. Sometimes like little ditches too. Check the ditches. You can find some cool old hibiscus, etc. That kind of stuff. Oh, see that? You're getting a change up. You're getting a change up in the geology. You're getting sand deposits, which means there's going to be sand prairies. And you got a different substrate, which means there's going to be a different set of plants than you might find in the surrounding areas. Wherever you got sand, you get a lot of sand endemic plants. Plants that are adapted to growing on sand, because not a lot of other stuff can. Oh, this is nice. Already I'm seeing some cool plants. Look, we got a whole bunch of mowed cactus down there. They're still mowing the roadsides. See, you can mow cactus. Replace your lawn with cactus, with Opuntia cespitosa, the native sandy plains cactus. Actually, it occurs as far east as Brooklyn, but right down here you got that yellow composite, Heterotheca camporum. You can see why it would be adapted to a sandier, hotter, drier site. It's just covered in little hirsute hairs. Oh, actually, these are more like little hispid hairs. These are stiff little hairs. Stiff little fingers. Look at that. It's got a scabbard texture to it as well. The involucre. Asteraceae, of course. Then what else you got down here? At Rudbeckia over the fence there, but there's a no trespassing sign, and people seem a little angry here, so I'm not gonna mess around. Got a cool euphorbia. This is Euphorbia davidii. One of the native quote-unquote poinsettias. Look at that whole inflorescence. It's cyathium. Has a little bit of, the bracts get a little bit lighter. Let me see if there's a better example I can find. Yeah, there you go. See? working as an attractant. And those green bulbous things are the ovaries, aka the fruits. You also have male flowers in there as well, in that cyathial structure. So that's a nice one. All right. And wait, we got a croton glandulosus, same family as that euphorbia, Euphorbiaceae. You can see you got a 3-carpelled ovary in there. And again, all those stiff little hairs, because the sandier, drier sites get hotter. All right, and they're you know, it's basically a 24-hour drought at all times here. Even when it rains and it drains so fast, and the water drains fast and it evaporates really fast, so it doesn't hold much moisture, as is the case with most sandy sites. You know, a little prickly pear back there. Got Polygonaceae dodecandra over here as well. See that? Oh, there you go, Cleomaceae. It's got kind of a funky smell to it. Ooh. I wouldn't say it smells good, but it doesn't smell bad. Brassicales is the order. California bladderpot is in the same family, Cleomaceae. All over the world. They got a really unique little flower structure. It seems most of the flowers are not actively blooming right now. They're closed up. Look at all the glands. Look at all those trichomes with those gland-tipped trichomes. You know, the stamens, those pink stamens poking out. You get those white clawed petals in there. Oh, God. Yeah, it does kind of smell funky. Smells kind of like sesame oil. This whole area feels like Texas. The floristic composition of Texas, except people are a little bit nicer in rural Texas. Oh, here's a cool Onothera, evening primrose family, Onagraceae. Those are the fruits right there. Flowers are done. This is probably a night bloomer. Yeah, can you see? Yeah, this is getting ready to go off tonight. See that bud right there? That'll be opening shortly. Moth pollinated, most likely, like so many of them. And then down here we got Acalypha persimilis, also in the Euphorbia and poinsettia and rubber family, Euphorbiaceae. Doing a whole, you know, division of labor thing with the flowers. Female flowers down here. Actually, the female flowers are up here, and then where are the, those are the males, presumably. Well, that's weird. Some have, a lot of Acalypha are dioecious. This one seems to be monoecious. It's unisexual flowers, but it has both on the same plant. Kind of a weed, but once again, you got that 3-parted ovary. It's a good hint at Euphorbiaceae. Look at those bracts, too. Something in that ovary. Okay, there we go. There's the real deal. We're far enough out. Out here at Sand Prairie Conservation Area. And this is a pretty magnificent spot. And this plant you're looking at right here, covered in all the white frilly shits, okay? Looking as beautiful as snow. All that stuff is Polygonella americana. It's a pretty rare plant. It's a member of the buckwheat family, Polygonaceae. And this is one of only a few dozen sites in the U.S. that it grows. And look at these leaves. Look at that. It looks like a juniper almost. Tiny white flowers, and then those appressed scale-like leaves. Just check it out. Oh my God, this is chigger territory, man. I'm already itching. I sprayed with permethrin, but you know, you never know. Anyway, look at those tiny flowers. You can see them. You can see they've got look at that white tapered end. It's a stipe-like base to that flower. And look at, oh my God, that's even weirder. They literally come out of these axils in these tiny scale-like leaves that I assume are just sessile and clasping the stem. Look at the leaves here. Look at that. Looks like a damn juniper. Looks like a conifer. What a cool plant. What a beautiful weirdo. Another beautiful weirdo. Another drought-tolerant, beautiful weirdo. Check out this dicanthelium, too. This beautiful grass. Look at that beautiful grass. Hirsute. Actually, no, it's just straight pubescent. Look at all the hairs on it. Look at the hairs on that grass. Again, adaptation to a dry site. And sand is a dry site. Little sassafras popping up here and there. Lauraceae. Smells very good. Root beer-like smell to those leaves. That fucking plant, that's kind of brutal to see out here. Paulownia tomentosa. Invasive from China. Only here because some dipshit thought that it looked attractive. You know, no context for ecology. I had somebody tell me, you know, it doesn't matter. I mean, you meet these people once in a while. They just need to be educated, that's all. Maybe slapped around a little bit if they, you know, once you tell them and they refuse to learn. You know, ignorance is excusable, arrogance is not. But what a wonderful habitat. Tons of cool grasses. And then this thing everywhere. I mean, just look, you can see where it's just popping up. All over the landscape. Polygonella americana. Little oaks popping up. They don't get too tall, though. This is a dry site. This is a very dry site. Oh, nice pokeweed right there. Phytolacca americana. Got sumacs here too. That dreaded invasive Lespedeza, a member of the bean family, that's here as well. What the shit? Look at these damn Cypress lupulinus. All right, the Great Plains flat sedge, or one that looks very much like it. You know, I got friends that get really nerdy about keying those out. I just don't. I don't care. Some really cool ones in South America, and just the Southern Hemisphere in general. But aside from that, whoa, what's that? Look at this thing, Malugo verticillata. It was forming huge mats about 1.5 feet diameter at a slightly wetter site. But out here, exposed in full sand, it's turning orange from those stress pigments and just keeping it small. Polygonaceae is the family. One of the only families in Caryophyllales, the order of cactus, spinach, and beets, to not produce betalain pigments. This is actually pretty weedy. I don't know if it's considered native here or not. I don't think so. I know it's like it's Central American. It might be native here. I don't know. It's weedy. It's all over the fucking world, though. Look at these oaks. And this guy down here, this is Hexacephalum teres. You can tell there's those axillary flowers just coming right out the leaf axils. Only 4 petals, which gives you a hint that it might be Rubiaceae, which it is. It's the coffee family. You also have those interpetiolar stipules. See, opposite leaves that are opposite each other, not alternate, and interpetiolar stipules. For this species, look at those long-ass laciniate bracts, almost looking like trichomes that come out right there at those stipules. See that? Look at those long-ass feathery stipules, or laciniates, whatever the shit you call those. Those looks like long hairs. This is actually a pretty weedy species, but I assume here it's native. And then right here we got black oak, Quercus velutina. Flip it over. Oh, that's not really the best example. You could see a little bit there. You see a little bit of velvet. Let's check this one. See? Coriaceous leaves. Look at this little bee. He's going to me for salt. He likes the sweat that I'm putting out there. Jesus Christ, you filthy animal. Anyway, this is kind of cool. This is a croton that I don't think I've seen before. Look at this. Look at how flimsy this thing. I mean, not flimsy, just extremely skinny, linear leaves. All right, hair-like, almost really impossible to see. Seen a ton of crotons in my time. Let me tell you, cool genus in Euphorbiaceae in the rubber and poinsettia family. This is one that's obviously trying to minimize the surface area that's exposed to the sun with those very elongated linear leaves. There's those inflorescences. Those aren't open. There's one that's open for you. Look at that. Looks like a croton. It's got the scales along the stem. It's breaking up sexual parts. You got male flowers, and I think there's probably female flowers in the bottom. Look at those stamens. It looks like a croton flower, but the thing is damn near impossible to see. And look at that Polygonella when it's sprawling like that. It looks like a juniper, man. Looks like a fucking juniper. That's crazy. Oh, but then there's those leaves. Scale-like and cupped. Actually, they're barely there. It's a photosynthetic stem with little leaf-like bracts. God, what a cool plant. And then there's those flowers. See that? I wonder how many stamens you got in there. Oh, look at that little worm. Look at that little caterpillar. How about that? Oh, I'm going to pay for it in chiggers, man. I've been stopping and squatting down to take photos of stuff. These bees like me. The chiggers like me too. These cute little bees. They're just licking my sweat. Look at this. So now we're out here, and we're out in this more open area, dominated by grasses, primarily Schizachyrium scoparium, little blue stem, and Polygonella americana, this weird bastard right here, that occurs from the East Coast west to New Mexico, but only in scattered and somewhat sparse populations, only occurring on sand. You got a number of cool sedges too. How about that? You know, could you go for a soft serve around here? I bet there is. I ate soft serve off a freight train once. I forget where. I think it was in, where the fuck, East St. Louis? Many years ago. We just stopped. We were in an open boxcar. We got off, hopped across, and got some ice cream. It's the only time that's the 3rd time I've eaten. Well, actually, no, that's not true. It's the 7th time I've eaten that ice cream on a freight train. Look at that Polygonella. What a fucking cool, look at it. Just sparse populations. All throughout the eastern half of the United States. They got that cool dicanthelium. I think it's a cuminatum. God, what a wonderful habitat. Oh, who's this? Look, little fungi. Yo, this is getting kind of weird. It's weird now. You've made it weird. I don't know what you're doing, but you gotta go home. All right? Actually, you don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. I guess it's fine. I'll let them ride for a little bit. All right, so this is cool. We got these little earth star fungi. I don't know what the shit they're eating. There's got to be dead organic material in the soil there that they're just slowly secreting enzymes and breaking down. But then you got this cool lichen just growing right on the ground. Little cladonia lichen. Get those fruiting structures. Just growing right on the sand. Again, all deposited by an ancient Mississippi River, God knows how many thousands of years ago. God, it is exceptionally barren and rocky and dry out here. And look at this. Look at the sand too. It's not very fine grained. It's pretty large. I mean, it looks river transported by a large, fast moving river. Look at how large those grains are. This isn't like beach sand. This is like gravelly sand. God, that's cool. These little micro habitats. Look, this guy's still going to town. Now, this looks like it may have been worked by human hands at some point. A piece of shirt with a little beveled edge. God, I'm getting bites on my ass. I'm getting bites everywhere. Look at that cool little sedge right there. See that? Oh, and look at this. This stuff is all just that Polygonella, but in a diminutive dwarfed form because it can't really do anything until it gets more moisture. Here's an older one. See, you can see those leaves down at the bottom are just composing that ground cover that's creeping in between all the grasses. Holy shit, look at that sedge. Look at all that. Look at it. Look at it. It's like the orange sedge, that orange cypress. Look at it. Look at that sedge. That Fimbra stylus. Autumnalis. At least I think that's what that is. See that? Looks like, almost looks like orange construction netting. And then now that we're on the barren exposed sand, this Croton michoii is really going off. That's a much better specimen. Doesn't like competition, apparently. Look at that. Easy to miss. Just the so reduced in surface area. Those leaves are just nuts. Those tiny white flowers. That's such a fucking weird variation on a Croton. It's been through these selection pressures of dune life, of sand life. God, this is weird. It's not even little blue stem. This is all sedges. This is all these sedges. That is so weird. Dry sedges. Is it wet down below or what? Got a little bit of Heterotheca. Still got Polygonella occasionally. And we got that Opuntia cespitosa. Ooh, it's got a fruit on it. See that red thing? How about that? Spines and glochids. But by no means is it dominant here. All this sand just brought here by the river. God knows how long ago. Oh, here's Frolichia, Floridana, Amaranthaceae. A very small one. They get a lot bigger than this. Quite beautiful. Papery flowers. And then you got, look, it's very, very tomentose too. Very woolly. They can get much bigger than that. But you can get what's going on. You know? Everything just coated in hairs. Another adaptation to the sand. Oh, that's nice. There was just some big green tractor spraying something that smells like Raid. You wonder why everybody's getting cancer, because the shit you eat is contaminated. Or the meat you're eating ate shit that was contaminated. That can't be good for you. Got Chamacrista fasciculata everywhere. Partridge pea, it's called yellow flowers when it's going off, but there's none going off right now. There's a Quercus velutina, I think. You got the invasive saponaria. God, that thing is everywhere. And this bullshit, this Lespedeza, this is that invasive Lespedeza from Asia, cuneata. Look at that, you got Monarda punctata, loving life. Actually, maybe not, it's looking kind of drought stressed. You can see the leaves are wilting. God, that's a great species. There's so many Monarda species. You see those flowers, the speckled lower lip right there? Those other things are just bracts. The mosquitoes are getting kind of bad. Got a nice Desmodium right there. Pea family. It's a lot of nice stuff, man. God, I love these sandy habitats. And look at this flower. God, it's so cool. What a weird plant. Looks like it's got 9 stamens, just like the genus Eriogonum in each one of those flowers. Pink anthers. And then I don't know what the shit's going on with those leaves. or pseudo leaves. They're just little bracts. Ah, this thing is just built for the hot and dry environments, though. For the sand. God, look at those leaves. What a fucking cool plant, man. This is so weird. Go ahead and look at iNaturalist. Look at a distribution map of this thing. It's just little polka dots all over the eastern half of the country. It's just got such a weird, sporadic occurrence. Look at the sassafras. Isn't that nice? Got the chiggers I'm going to have. I'd way rather have ticks than chiggers. Hands down. Look at that vine. Is that cocculus? Oh, how about that? Oh, the colors are really getting good now. You got a system coming. Woo! Some thunder in the distance. Wouldn't you have loved to be here 900 years ago? You know, before the Mississippian cultures collapsed, when they still had their pyramids up there at the Cahokia Mounds. The Croton Michoii smells fantastic, as most crotons do. Look at that scale, those scale-like stems. This is a weird one. I thought I had seen it before, but I haven't. I'm going to take a voucher and accession it at an herbarium. You got that Polygonella, the Fimbra stylus, that cool orange sedge. It's weird. This whole area is seemingly dominated by sedges. It's not grasses. It's these damn weird cypress species, or Fimbra stylus, or there's one other genus. Yeah, I never paid much attention to the sedges, but now I will. There's a Malugo, Dicanthelium. There's a bunch of nice stuff. Oh, that's a spurge. It's another euphorbia. I have to get a nice photo of that. Anyway, it's gonna dump on me here soon, or tornado. Either way. Hopefully you got some out of that. Have a good rest of your day. Go fuck yourself. Bye. These sand habitats are something else, huh? Crazy to think. The river once ran through here, dumped all this stuff, and that's what enables all this cool stuff to grow here. If it weren't for the sand, none of this stuff would be here. That weird Polygonella, the prickly pear, all that other stuff. Oh, Louie. Oh, you just stole a treat from your dad, Louie. He's 15 years old, Louie. He's got seniority on your ass. He's gonna go soon. You just stole a fucking treat from him. Huh? Ooh. Go fuck yourself, bye!